video finds you happy, healthy, and safe. If you're new here, my name is Rhonda with Rhonda's Craft Frenzy. I appreciate you spending your time here with me today, so thank you so much for that. Today I'm going to show you how I put together these 3 super easy, super fun Easter DIYs that you'll be sure to show off to all your family and friends. But before we get into it, I have some exciting news. All you need to do to get in on it is subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow and like my Facebook, and tag 3 people in the comments to win your choice of any listing on my Etsy store for $30 or less. I will announce the winner on Friday the 19th in my next video. Now, I'll beat you to the craft table.
I started out with a wooden bunny from the Dollar Tree and a Halloween sign that I picked up at Big Lots on clearance, of course. It's not in the video, but that sign was black, and I just painted it with a streaky coat of Waverly's elephant colored chalk paint. Any sign from the Dollar Tree will work just as fine. I traced out the bunny on a piece of scrapbook paper and cut it out. Once it was cut, I used a glue stick to attach it to the wood. Use whatever glue you have. I don't recommend using hot glue for this part. It tends to leave it lumpy looking. Then I added a light coat of Mod Podge over the whole surface, and I do this to protect the paper, but it also seals to the wood much better. The next step, once it was dry, was to get rid of any excess, and my favorite way to do that is sanding it around the edges because it makes it look as if it was store-bought. And then I decided I wanted to age it a bit, so I used gray and black paint, and I dry brushed around the edges and then lightly over the surface. By the time that was done, my bunny was dry, so I used a pom-pom to give him a bushy tail. I let that dry and I grabbed this Happy Easter sign that I used in a previous video. Check it out in the video list if you're interested. I put a light coat of white chalk paint on it because I wanted to be able to have the brownish color come through to make it look a little bit more rustic. I hot glued both pieces onto my sign, and that completes my first DIY. I just adore him, and I hope you like it too. For my second DIY of the day, super simple, I used a glass jar and a candlestick, both from the Dollar Tree. I glued the glass vase on top of that candlestick with E6000 and hot glue. I let that set, And then I grabbed this chevron orange and white ribbon and glued it to the bottom of the vase. I also added a cute little bow in the same ribbon right to the front. Then I put some great green pebbles, or whatever you call those. The granules were bigger than sand. I got this cute little bunny from a sign they have at the Dollar Tree. I added these tiny roses that were left over from a pick, and I placed the bunny right in front of it. This is super simple, and I think it's really beautiful. My second DIY was finished, and I sure hope you like it. For my final DIY of the day, I started out with this bunny head. It came from the Dollar Tree, and it was 3 in a package on a wall hanging. But I only needed 1. I removed all that tinsel from it first, and then those shiny ears I took off as well. The next thing I did was use these wooden Easter eggs. Yeah, if you haven't guessed it, they also came from the Dollar Tree. I printed these birch wood patterns from my computer, and I traced out and cut the egg shape as well as that bunny. I did have to piece the bunny together because I didn't print enough pages. So if you want to recreate this, make sure you print 3 pages. Once I got all my pieces cut out, I used a glue stick and stuck them to those wood shapes. Then I used jute string to border them. I used hot glue to secure that jute string in place. I have these 3 shadow boxes from a previous craft that I made, but you can pick those up at the Dollar Tree. They're there for whatever holiday or whatever season it is. I painted mine white in the past. There were 2 smaller ones and 1 larger one. I dry brushed them with Waverly's Mineral Chalk Paint over that white just to give them a more aged look. Then I used these various rub-on letter transfers to spell out Happy Easter on the bunny. I used these black vines for the two sides of the eggs. I also added jute string bows on each one of them. I hot glued all my pieces onto my shadow boxes. The two eggs were for the smaller one and I used a bigger one for the bunny. I cut out this brown scrap paper just to put it on the back of each one because there was an image. You could use them as a reversible piece if you wanted. They're cute on both sides. The last thing I did was add hangers and use jute string for this. I think they're super cute and they make a nice grouping. As always, I appreciate you spending your time here with me, and I hope you found some inspiration in my video because that's my intent. I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel because it helps it grow. And if you saw something you like, hit that thumbs up button, and don't be shy with those comments. I really hope to see you next time, and until then, keep those glue guns at the ready.